Hello friends, it's Idaho Garden Girl here, and it is the 12th of March, and it's still very, very cold here. There's no gardening at the moment, so the sort of things that I'm doing now is looking through seed catalogs and making plans for what I'm going to plant in the spring when it gets warmer. And spring is coming pretty fast. So as you can see, I have a diagram here, and this actually looks sort of like my garden. Let me show you. So here's a picture, a photograph of my garden in 2017 when I first started this garden, and I didn't have all the beds, so I basically drew it out like this, and this was what I planted. Here were tomatoes right there. See? So that's how I plan my garden. So that was 2017. This right here was 2018. And you can see I had all the beds filled. It looked pretty nice. And then this was 2019. And I have this plan duplicated down here so that if I have any changes, like this is the spring and then this is the summer. And sometimes it changes and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I don't, I don't succession plant, but sometimes I do. And then this was 2020. Was a good year. This was a little bit more detailed of 2020. As you can see, I had everything planned out and spaced out. And these over here that have the lines drawn through them, these beds don't exist. There's space there, but there's nothing there at the moment, so I just cross them out, right? So now let's go to this year. Oh, this was 2021. And this was the plan and the tomatoes I was planting. And as you can see, I crossed these out because there's nothing there. But this was what I planned. This is kind of how it turned out. Let me turn this around like this so you can read. This was what ended up being planted, and these orange spots are where I had gopher damage. So I noticed that the gophers are still out there. It's just the dead of winter, and there's not a whole lot I can do. But I'm going to have to take care of those gophers, doggone it. Okay, so 2022, this is my plan for 2022 so far. Strawberries, winter squash, peppers. Now, half of this bed right here is taken up with comfrey, and I am not sure. I'm thinking that I'd like to transplant that comfrey somewhere else, but because it's taking up a lot of this bed. So I'm not real sure what's going on. Last year I had a tomatillo plant that volunteered, came up there and did real well. I don't really have plans yet written down for this, but I'm thinking parsnips and carrots here. I already have parsnips out there. little tiny parsnips. They're making it through the winter, so they're probably just going to go to seed. So I have to replant. I need to plant carrots in there when it gets warm enough. This is where I'll put the cucumbers, tomatillos, peas, parsley, and carrots. I already have parsley out there. Lettuce and onion. No plans yet. Garlic, ground cherries. The gophers are really having a heyday in there, so that's gonna take a major overhaul. And then I'll put some lettuce and onion here. Also lettuce and onion there. So, and these, once again, these are empty. I should mark them. There's nothing there. There's just room for me to build more beds. So all of my beds are 3 feet wide by 12 feet long. And the space in between is 2 feet. So I can get a lawnmower through here. Lawnmower through here. Now this is 6 feet, I believe. It's just a bigger path. I could put another bed in there. Almost. It would have to be a narrow one. But anyway, this is a bigger path. And I can drive the lawnmower up and down in here, make a path up and down. I can pass through twice. Down and then back up, and it mows it. So it's about 6 feet. At the end of these beds, I have rhubarb. So there's a rhubarb plant there. There's a rhubarb plant there. Let's see, there's a rhubarb there, and there's a rhubarb there. Now over here, I have one of those cloth pots, and I grew potatoes in it, not last year, but the year before. And then I had a cloth pot right there, and a cloth pot right there, a fabric pot right there. So my intention is to have something, you know, maybe I don't need more rhubarb, although it looks nice, but I could do something different here. One thing about it, the gophers don't seem to bother rhubarb. Yay, right? The gophers don't seem to bother rhubarb. What they do is, I think there was a sunflower in this, and they burrowed up underneath, ate a hole in the bottom of the fabric pot, and hollowed out the inside of that. And then I was so angry. My gosh, they're just destroying parts of my garden. So going back to this 2021 diagram, you guys might remember that when I started having the gopher damage, I was worried I wasn't going to get any cucumbers whatsoever. And so I kind of started another garden, a container garden. I put this all together in July, basically. I had a bunch of the half barrels, the plastic half barrel planters, and some of them already had plants in them. Like I had a couple of fig trees. I had another fig tree, but this one never did. It never did anything. I think it died. And it was just in a pot. It wasn't in a barrel planter. But all of these others are barrel planters. And then these two down here are garden tower types of planters. And so what I ended up doing is planting cucumbers in this garden tower, and they did really well. And I planted green beans in this garden tower, and they did really well. Actually, I planted green beans, yellow wax beans, and the dragon tongue beans, and they did great. So, but I had dwarf okra here, and it did well. I had a bush acorn squash, and it did terrible. I didn't get a single squash. But the tiger stripe zucchini, I got zucchini from that. I planted sunstripe zucchini there, and I got zucchini from that. And then this was tigress zucchini, and I got zucchini from that. And then this was table queen bush squash, and it didn't do anything. Romanesco, it's a zucchini type, and I got zucchini from that. Summer pack yellow crookneck, it was a bust, nothing. Strawberries, and these two were fabric pots. These four actually were fabric pots with potatoes. And then these four were dwarf tomatoes. And the only one that really did very well was this one, and that one was Red Robin. These others, I don't even remember their names, to be honest. But I've planted Red Robin before, and Red Robin has done really well. It's a hybrid, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to plant it again this year. Anyway, you know, none of this stuff was planted before, like, the last week of June, first week of July. So it was really, I was really pushing it to try and get a crop going. So I'm not really disappointed. It was an experiment, and it started because I wanted to make sure I was getting cucumbers, and I did. I got lots of cucumbers. I got cucumbers here too. But yeah, I got lots of cucumbers, so I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do beans again. So anyway, it was a big experiment. I'm probably going to plant this again, and I'm probably going to plant it again with zucchini and yellow crookneck and dwarf tomatoes. I might add a few more pots if I can find them. I don't want to really go out and buy them if I can help it. I think I have a couple of larger pots that I can use over here. So anyway, those are my plans. So thanks for watching. Now you've seen my plans, such as they are. Not very complete yet, but those are my plans, and that's how I make my plans on paper. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.